you can use AI to help you kind of brainstorm ideas, to help you kind of fill in the gaps of your content. But at the end of the day, we're human to human. We're people who are creating businesses to serve other people. And AI is just a tool to help us get there.
Welcome to the Simple and Smart SEO Show podcast. I'm your host, Crystal Waddell, here to bridge the gap between SEO strategy and real-world business success by bringing you insights, stories, and conversations from the SEO community and beyond. So grab a coffee or your favorite tea, and let's dive into smarter SEO for your business. Super excited to be here with another Crystal. It's always going to be a good time when you got two Crystals in the room. So Crystal Ortiz, thank you so much for being here, and welcome to the Simple and Smart SEO Show podcast.
Thank you for having me. I'm super excited to be here.
Me too. And you are the first guest of 2026. So,
oh, yeah.
I know. So hopefully I could put like some Betty or something on the screen. Could you share with our listeners a little bit about your background in SEO?
Sure. Yes. My name is Crystal Ortiz. I've been working in digital marketing for 10 years now. I originally worked in a retail shop, and I just wanted to, learn more about digital marketing. I found it really, really interesting. This was 10 years ago when social media was very different. And I really wanted to learn about it and become involved in that field. And then fast forward to about 5 years ago, during COVID, I started my own business, my own consulting company, Social Heart. And I just kind of had a 3-month-old, and it was just like me doing my best to do consulting and learn how to run a business and start a business. And that was 5 years ago now. And so I've just been running with it ever since. I've had really, really cool opportunities to work with really cool companies, drive really amazing results. I've gotten to teach at the university level for different digital marketing classes. So that's been really amazing. So yeah, I've just had a lot of opportunity in the last 10 years. It's been really fun. And I would love, sharing what I know to the best of my ability with people. I think it's, usually helpful and well received. So I'm hoping that we can just, chit chat and see where we can help people.
Yeah, I love that. And I appreciate that so much. And it's interesting that you talk about a little bit of a background in education, because I used to be a teacher. And so it's so funny how so many people who've been on the show have been educators of some sort in their life.
I feel like those skills come in handy when you're talking to clients. They come in handy when you're talking to people, reframing things, starting from the beginning, kind of giving good structure to what it is that you're explaining. They're all things that can be really helpful. And I tend to talk on the more technical side, so I have to kind of remove that from my language and kind of go back to more simple things to really set the framework for people when I'm talking. And I think a lot of people who are in SEO do that because we're so passionate and excited about what it is that we're talking about and learning. And, it is our passion, digital marketing. And so sometimes we can get really, really into like the nitty gritty of explanation. But when it comes to speaking with, our clients and our customers, they're not as enthusiastic about this thing. They're not going to go home and Google SEO stuff. So we kind of have to, go back to teaching fundamentals, creating that foundation for people to understand why what we're talking about is important, and then what next steps they can do to implement those things.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And I really loved how you talked about like customer experience and stuff too, because anytime I see someone connect different business concepts with SEO, you've got my attention, because that's so important. And I feel like SEO can be like an abstract thing, a behind the scenes thing that doesn't really ever touch the customer, when in fact it does, but we don't talk about that a lot. So before we jump into talking about AI or SEO, can you share a moment with us where you felt truly understood as a customer?
Yeah, I've had so many different experiences. I did work in retail prior to working in digital marketing. And so I have a certain set of ideas in my mind of what I was taught when I was working with customers on a face-to-face basis about how we should treat customers in general. And so that's the expectation that I go into when I'm working with a client or when I'm buying something from an online retailer. I don't think those fundamentals of human behavior have really changed all that much, right? When we go into a store, we want, for the most part, to either be left alone, depending on our personality, or, we need help because we're going in for a certain reason. An experience that I can think of pretty recently was I was shopping for wedding dresses, and I have a particular style that I wanted to wear for the wedding. And so there was basically one site that had those types of products. And so that was the site that I was searching on. And I ordered these dresses like months and months in advance, and they never arrived. And so sometimes that happens, right? People will buy something. And as a business, that company could have said, well, once it went out our shipping, like it's out of our hands. They could have done that. And a lot of businesses would, but they didn't. They said, you know what, Crystal, you haven't received your order. We're going to send you another order of everything that we still have. We're sold out of one SKU, so we're going to give you a credit for that. And we're going to send you everything else again, and we're not going to charge you. And that wasn't on me. They didn't put that on me as a customer, right? And so that went a long way for me. And I have bought so much more stuff from them since that event. Not only because I like the clothes, but also because I trust that if I buy from them and something goes wrong, they're going to honor me as a customer. And so it just goes to show that the little things along the way really do make a big difference. And things like reviews, just basic business stuff, if you don't have that basic business stuff figured out, then it doesn't matter how much SEO you put into it. Doesn't matter how much digital marketing effort you put into the business. If your business isn't making customers happy, then you're really going to be at a loss very quickly because people are smart. They figure it out. There's word of mouth. There's reviews, right? So that's just kind of one example of a business experience and how it implements with digital marketing and why we talk about those things as digital marketers, because they do influence whether or not your business is going to be successful.
Absolutely. And when you talk about other basic business stuff, do you have
Yeah.
any other front of mind examples of what basic business stuff can entail?
Yes, absolutely. Your checkout process, right? So I think a lot of businesses, they throw up their website and they maybe hire someone or they do it themselves, but then they don't go through the process of actually shopping on their own website to see if it's functioning. And so a lot of audits that I do will actually uncover very seemingly basic things that were missed. So if I'm, in the checkout process and something's taking a really long time to load to tell me if it's in stock, then I'm probably not going to be spending a lot of time waiting for the site to load. And that's a very, foundational thing that business owners can think about, especially when you're thinking about the customer journey. Are you making it easy for someone to buy from you, or are you creating more instances where they might get distracted or they might click off, or, maybe they're going to look at another website, or maybe they're going to go back on TikTok, right? So you have attention for so long. What are you going to do with it? If during the checkout process, you're creating more friction, then you're going to find that people aren't converting the way that they could.
Yeah, that's really awesome. I think that's where a lot of SEO and AI conversations can go sideways, because it just seems like there is that disconnect between the back end and the front end and just the realities. It's like they can coexist and they must coexist. Where do you think that SEO and content strategies kind of start drifting away from real customer connection?
I think SEO and content can really drift from customer connection when SEO and content are created just to create content. When we're not thinking about our customers and we're not thinking about their needs, then it can become really stale. So, audience research is really important. It kind of is like if you have ever seen that episode of Gilmore Girls where, Snooki throws a birthday party. She's like creating all the food for like this Lord of the Rings kids' birthday party, and all of the food is like gourmet food. And Lorelai comes into the kitchen. She's like, "Where's the chicken nuggets? Right? Like, where's the mozzarella sticks?" So like, it's the wrong audience, right? And we can do that on our website sometime. We can do that with content. We can be like, we're just creating content, but we're not thinking about who are we creating this content for. Like, yeah, it looks great, or it's really beautifully written, or maybe it's really nice, but like it's the wrong audience completely. So that's how it can sort of get a little bit stale, a little bit, off track, is if we're not thinking about who we're creating that for. That's when it really starts to get a little off track, and we kind of have to rein it in and go out and buy the chicken nuggets, right, from the frozen section, and just like get some chicken nuggets back into the party.
Yeah, that is so true. This gives me a chance to plug my semantic analyzer tools, because that's been one of the biggest ahas for me for the end of 2025 until now. I get it. Semantic SEO is not the same as AI SEO and all the other things, but it's if you don't get that right on your page, you totally miss the connection with the right person that you're trying to attract. I appreciate that so much. But the next question I had for you was, how do you think that AI has accelerated habit or practice of SEO for better or for worse?
It's a tool like anything else, right? SEO and AI tools are just tools. Because I'm an SEO consultant, right? You would think that I would be like SEO this, SEO that, AI this, AI that. But in reality, it's just a tool. It's just another part of what we're doing on a daily basis to help reach our business goals. But it should never be the thing that steers what we're doing. It should never be the boss, right? Like, you're the boss of your business. You get to decide what's important and what's not important. And so AI and SEO are just tools to help you reach your goals. That's it. So what can happen is we can start to over rely on SEO, over rely on AI, over rely on these things that we think are driving impact, but are not. So for example, if we're just using AI to take away the hard work of connecting with our customers, and we're just creating AI content just to create AI content, just to slap it on the website, then you're going to see negative effects from that. And there's a number of ways that can negatively impact your business. So that's just one example of like reframing AI as a tool is going to serve you much better than just slapping AI content on your website. You can use AI to help you kind of brainstorm ideas, to help you kind of fill in the gaps of your content. But at the end of the day, we're human to human. We're people who are creating businesses to serve other people. And AI is just a tool to help us get there.
Not just AI, but SEO tools in general. Do you think that there's been a shift where we've optimized for systems more than optimizing for people and the people on the other side of the screen?
I don't know if we've overcreated on systems. I think systems are really helpful, and I think they're good for people to help us create structure for when we're trying to accomplish work. So yeah, I think systems are okay. More of the problem that I see with AI is an over dependence on it. Over dependence on, am I here? Am I there? Am I showing up in ChatGPT? Am I showing up here? Am I doing all the things? Or if I created 15 pieces of content with AI and slapped them on my website, am I using all the AI tools that are out and yada, yada, but you haven't fixed your checkout process yet? Then maybe the order of operations needs to change. So that's really where I see some discrepancy.
You said something that really stuck with me, and SEO isn't the value, customer connection is. Is there anything else you'd like to add for context of the importance of customer connection over SEO?
Yeah. So again, like coming from an SEO, kind of contradictory, right? Because I help people with their SEO. But I think the misconception is that SEO is this robotic form, this robotic thing. Like, oh, SEO is dead. Like, oh, we don't need to do SEO. We need to do thought leadership. We need to do that. Like, you know what I mean? But I think people are missing the point. SEO has been a created facet for many years now. If you're thinking about SEO only in a robotic function, then you have been behind for a while, because SEO has relied on creativity for many years now. And this is no different, right? So there's a point in time in which we're looking at AI content, website content, and it feels inhuman, right? And so it is inhuman by using AI. So instead, we have to think about SEO in terms of what are people needing from us as a business? What are they looking for? What are their problems? What questions are they asking? And that's coming from a genuine place, right? Like, I want to know what my clients' customers are looking for. Because if I know what they're looking for, then my client can help them understand better about what they're looking for. So, if there's a certain product that helps with a certain condition, then my clients genuinely want to help people understand how they can improve on whatever condition that might be, right? And so that's how we're using SEO data. And then we're seeing what's online, what's out there, and we're creating something different than what everybody else is doing, right? And we're coming from a genuine place. So I think that's where we kind of take out SEO as just this robotic function, which, yes, you can create really cool SEO products that scale and that are programmatic and that reach lots and lots of people. But at the end of the day, what we're trying to do is we're trying to connect with people. And really, you can do that by being creative and by connecting with them, right? We can't just slap on SEO stuff and expect it to be super successful. We always want to think how we can be creative in addition to doing just basic SEO stuff.
And that's so funny that you say that because so many people, when I bring up the word SEO, it's like their eyes cut across the same way I feel like when people say Google Analytics. I'm like, "Eh." But I love the creative part of search engine optimization. And I think
Yes.
maybe part of it is just that desire of, oh, how can we connect these dots between our product and this person? And everybody wants to feel like they matter. So I feel like good SEO shows people like, hey, you matter. Like your thoughts, feelings, concerns, they matter. And guess what? They matter to us and we can help you. So it's just another way of communicating with people. And yeah, I love systems and I love SEO tools and I love AI and all that type of stuff. But I love the parts of it that help me be even more creative. I'm probably a little more creative than I need to be.